What's 3-4?
See? Right there. Walden dose.
The casual visitor might well assume that this is just another of the many reactionary communes spawned by the turmoil of the 60s.
What's 3-4? They like to smell the books. I really like to just taste them.
And it leads to a very good thumbnail. Welcome to the Daily BA. That's disgusting. Sometimes I wish my life was backed by a track like that. Just imagine everywhere you're going, just and then it cues in this part. All right, enough of that. Let's jump into today's program. You're watching the Daily BA. What's up, Internet? Ryan O here. You know that book, Walden 2? Skinner wrote it. It was this utopian fiction novel, 1948, where he was talking about the possibilities of a community that was built off of a different sort of approach, one that is more behavior analytic in nature, that is one that's built off of like positive reinforcement, positive approaches to shaping, influencing behavior. By the way, if you're a fiction fan, do not read this expecting anything good. I'm sorry, Skinner, and to everybody that gets down their knees and just worships him, he was a horrible fiction writer. But there's some cool concepts in there if you're into that sort of thing. Today, I want to talk about this just a little bit. Not necessarily like, is this possible? I guess we can get into that, but more so, what do you think is so fascinating, interesting about this? You see, about a year and a half ago, I was at a conference, one of those big ones. I'm not going to mention who I was with because we were doing that thing where you just like slam a bunch of beers, have way too much to drink. But I met a couple people that were a part of Los Horcones. Now, this is a very interesting community, one of few that shaped up and developed that were influenced off of this actual very book. See? Right there. Walden dose. It got me thinking that this might be a really interesting video, kind of documenting the history of where the idea came from, what current people think about the idea, as well as those who were raised and born in it, because I met somebody that was actually born there, what their perceptions were, where the community is at. So it looks like in November of this year, we will be going there. As I was diving into the internet, I actually found like there's full-length documentary pieces on this concept. Like here you can actually see Skinner showing up to one of these communities. How freaking cool was that?
You don't have chickens, is that because you have to buy grain?
We do have a few chickens. We have enough for what percentage of our chicken stuff do you know?
Well, chicken meat we don't have except when the old layers wear out and we have stewing chickens, but
well,
we produce half our eggs or more.
And you would never think of machine raising chickens. You wouldn't.
No,
that's not humane enough for winoaks.
And in terms of efficiency, I think it's worth giving up a considerable amount of efficiency in able to get closer to our own self-sufficiency.
Oh, I think so.
I'm not looking to recreate those sort of things. I'm more so interested in how do we bring this vision and what this idea was into a more modern format and see if sharing it on this channel led to anything maybe outside of the community of people learning or wanting to learn more about our field. Megan Miller, one of the Patreon supporters, said, hey, we should go check that thing out. I can help make the trip happen. So we're working on figuring out the details of that. I'm most particularly interested today in what you think was so fascinating about this book, about this concept. Maybe, is it something that you even think is possible? Is it borderline too scary, too controlling? And if you had an opportunity to ask some of the experts and the people that were born there, what would you ask them? What would you be interested in learning more about? Because it looks like there's a very real possibility of this being a thing. We just gotta figure out some final logistics of it all. So, if you haven't already, check out Walden 2. It's actually the only book, I believe, that Skinner read himself, so it's like an audiobook format as well. I'll be doing a more full, like, in-depth review of the book and what you can take away from it. I think it's a pretty cool, interesting read. But until then, I will see you in the next one. Actually, not too bad.
Kind of hurts.
Stop, don't click out. If you have a minute, check out patreon.com/thedailyba. This channel is fueled by people like you, and I could use your support. It's 1 in roughly 1,300 that choose to do so. Don't be one of those 1 in 1,300. Unless you have to be. That's cool too. But we're trying to build a cool community.